preview. Oh, I gotta go up here now. God.
You know, you might have a checklist.
Here we go. Chirp, 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 chirp.
Hi,
Okay.
guys. Is this take 2?
Take 2.
This is Ginger Cook. We're going to try this again. I want to welcome you to our Monday night of acrylic painting. If you'll notice, if you're just now tuning in, which hopefully you were tuning in and we didn't lose you we did a little something that didn't work like a second ago, so we're trying again.
YouTube updated.
YouTube updated, and we didn't update with it. Don't you love the updates? But anyway, I think we're on now. You may notice that the scene behind me is a little different. And it's similar, but there's something slightly different because Jon spent the last 2 weeks redesigning and drawing out the studio, and he built it in 4 days. And we moved everything around. We've got more. We've got fancy little pulleys on the cameras and little motors that go back and forth. It is so cool. And so right now, tonight, you're going to experience something I think even better than the way we've been filming before. It's pretty impressive. And we're excited to share that. Someone will in our studio audience that's watching the live scene will get to have an opportunity to win tonight's painting. And again, because it's January, didn't want to do snow. Thought maybe something, I don't know, sort of beachy would be nice. So we're going to do something with white sand and a sunset. Something maybe just take us out of our element of winter. And this is our last show in January, so we thought we would just...
I can't believe a month is already gone.
A month's already gone. I mean, you know, and then next week we've got my birthday show, which is going to be a blast. I sure hope you guys are coming for that. Some surprises
Oh, no,
there.
it's your birthday. You don't work on your birthday.
Yeah, we're doing a birthday show. So that'll be fun. So, Jon, if you will be so kind as to...
Yeah, let's go down there. I've got to change the exposure on the palette camera. It's off.
So Jon's going to be making some adjustments during the broadcast. You're going to be seeing him. He's going to be doing a few because, again, we haven't had a big enough opportunity yet to try out all this. It just 4 in the morning last night, 5 in the morning, he was still clamping the last little cameras in place. And but you know what he did do? This was really clever. We have so many cords and wires, and they're all color-coded now with where they go to. So isn't that fun? So, anyway, are we down here on the desk here, right? So you'll notice that...
Yeah, but wait a minute.
No?
It's telling me we're out of... Yeah, you're down there.
All right, so...
Just ignore me.
Okay, so Jon's just going to keep adjusting. I'm going to change... You'll notice that I have all these little colored pieces of canvas. These are created from white canvas that after a show, there'll be some leftover paint, or after I've done a painting. And Jon will take whatever's left over and make our base for the next painting.
Yeah, I get the second-hand paints.
So he gets that, and we don't always get the colors that you know. It's sort of
Okay,
interesting.
wait. The volume. Any way to turn up the volume just a bit? Anybody else having volume problems? We're putting out pretty heavy according to the meters.
Our volume.
And again, we did have all the mics and everything got moved around, so I do need to know if we have to do something besides Barbara. So go ahead, keep talking, boss.
All right, so this is I'm going to go for light yellow.
Oh, by the way, the Queen, your hair is fab.
Oh, thank you. So
I'm going to curl my hair so I can get it fab. I want to
I'll
be
do
fab.
that for you sometime, Jon. You'll look like one of those old English kings, you know.
Perfect. It should be on the Queen's birthday.
So anyway, I'm going to be doing this. I'm going to pick yellow. Now you're thinking, why is that? And the reason I want yellow is because... Why do I want yellow? Okay, I've got it. The reason I want yellow is because
Sounds fine, sounds good.
Yellow against white is probably as
Okay.
bright as you'll ever get it.
Thank you.
Are you whispering to me again?
No, I was whispering to the audience. I didn't want to interrupt you. But see, I still interrupted you.
You did. Now what's the problem over here now?
No, nothing. Only Barbara's having problems with the volume.
All right, Barbara, turn it up on your computer. Right?
Get over it. It's not us.
Not us, Barbara.
For a
Get over
change.
it. Sorry. So we're going to move all this. Look at the stack keeps growing. Don't you love
You got a lot of painting to do. Either that or I got to start painting.
All right, so we've got somebody will not only have the opportunity to win tonight's painting, okay, but yeah, they're going to win tonight's painting, and we also have thanks to Salvador Paint Company, We'll also be doing a drawing for the Salvador paint, brand new Salvador paint kit with the 12 brushes and the palette and the sponge. And those are the paints I'm using right now. You'll see over here the colors I think I'm going to want in my sunset. Now, for those of you, when we redid the studio, I can't find my color mixing journal book. No one knows where that is right now, because everything is everywhere. Because we only got this part done. The rest of the room is sort of in chaos.
We got the important stuff done.
But anyhow, well, if you're asking about stuff like this, for my larger paintings, for instance, and I want to give you an example of that. For my larger paintings, like here's a painting I've done for our Academy of Fine Art and Acrylic painting. Here's a turtle. This is a painting that's coming up soon, okay? And this was done with our heavy body regular acrylic. And, you know, I have my 12 magic colors plus my 2 bonus ones that pretty much can make any color. The reason for the YouTube shows, we've favored the really nice, the Salvadors, because you don't have to really learn to mix the colors on that. They pretty much gave you all the colors. If you follow along, you're pretty much okay. However, you can, with my 12 magic colors, you can make any of these too, which is sort of nice, but you'd have to have the color mixing journal to do that. So, because we teach you how to make your own journal and how to mix colors. But anyway, we're going to be giving away a paint set. I've got my yellow canvas. Now you're going, so where do you get your inspiration, Ginger? Someone asked, where do you get your inspiration? Well, I do look for references, and I just, even though I may not follow it. Now, my inspiration for this is this this little ocean scene with the little sandbar, and I've got where you see where some of the waters kind of come in, the tides come in, and kind of coming around in the back of that. Okay. So that's my inspiration. So wait till you see what we get from that, because we're not going to really do that much with it. Now, can they see this on my desk, John? Can they?
Hold on a second.
I want you
I have
to.
all these controls now.
John's got controls. Look at this nifty set I've got on my desk. My little setup here with my brushes and Posca pens and stuff. Can they see that? John's going to zoom back and let you see that. Okay.
Whoa, that is so cool.
Okay, isn't that cool? And you can, they just move around, so you can have a box or configure these. And I found these are, this is so cool. I've got my little brushes here. I've got this here. I feel very efficient. Isn't that cool? You got to see that. So that's one of the things we can now do with the tricky cameras is show you stuff. Now, here's a T-square. And I don't want it, if I don't want to do this in half, I want to my sky's going to be slightly above half of the canvas, just slightly above. And I want to make sure it's level. I'm going to draw a line like that with my chalk, and you can't really see that, can you? So
well, white on yellow is
it's probably not as efficient as it could be, is it? So let's do this. Let's take one of the Posca pens, which we could do. Let's take this that's yellow, so that wouldn't work. Now I'm feeling all.
With all those choices you have.
I have all the choices. So I could
so
take.
you could spend the night just picking choices.
I could spend the night and pick choices.
I think that's just great.
Let's see, is that working? Yeah, that's working.
That's a nice orange.
That's a nice orange, just a sort of a pale orange. Let's come up here like that. Let's do this again.
About like yay.
There, you can see that now, right? You can see that? Better? Yes?
A little bit better.
I'm just trying to look and see if I want to do that. Just, let's come down just a bit more. Just a hair more. Let's just come down like that.
Now, don't you find it a little more difficult to erase it with, I guess?
Well, Posca pens you can wipe right off because they don't dry.
If you're quick enough.
They don't dry. I mean, they dry, but they don't dry right away, so you can wipe off. And I wanted you to see where my line was. So, then the little pen goes right back in the little
Hey,
holder.
Don't forget to give the thumbs up so we can give you the link. I just put mine in. I forgot to do it earlier.
Oh yeah, for the drawing to win this painting and to win the set, and we want to make sure that we do have the links in there. So that being said, I think I may dig into my other box
I got the volume down now.
You have the volume down or up, right?
Well, I have the volume correct, I think.
Okay, so I want to say that I want to come up here like this. I'm just going to kind of sketch this down here like that. And here's my little, this is where my white sand, and listen, notice how it's zigzagging here, like that. This is my white sand peninsula. And here we go like that. And let's see, I think yeah. So that was my inspiration for this. And also I did quite a bit of work on the computer before I put this into a painting program in the computer and really worked out the colors of how I wanted to do it. And that probably took me an hour or two. I did it first in the computer so I'd know, but I'm not going to show you that. You just get to imagine I went from here to whatever we're doing next, yeah? So you can see that what I want to do is take a little bit of this Naples yellow, red yellow, and a little bit of their yellow deep, kind of mix those two together. Just come up over the horizon line like that. Do that, okay? No, I didn't put out the titanium white. Now I do, Salvador's coming out with a new paint set with larger paint tubes and also a new improved white. In the meantime, we're using the a titanium white from Golden. That's what we're using. And I'm going to put a little bit of white with this too because I want just a little bit lighter than I had it. So I'm going to do that like that. And then we're going to go into the yellows. Let's do the primary yellow. That's pretty. Come up this way like that. It's kind of at an angle. Let's get the azo yellow, lemon yellow. Let's make that a little bit lighter here. Okay, now we're going to come right up to the Naples yellow red. Come this way, kind of at an angle like that. Maybe take a little Priority red. Come over here like that. Get this darker.
So it says, John, I'm a sock folder, so the neatness of Ginger's desk is very pleasing to me. Love the little trays.
Yeah, I thought those were so cool. I was just really bored one night, so I was looking at craft supplies on Amazon to see if anybody had come up with anything great. And, you know, sometimes you have to go through 600 pages to find these things, right? And I was just doing that, you know, thumbing through, right? And found those, and I really, really liked it. So let's bring this up here. Let's take a little of this white, just on the angle brush like this, and bring it up like that. Just pull it and lift up. And then just take an angle, just on one side of the angle brush, just pull and lift up, okay? And let's see. There's a little rag here. Let's wipe the brush off and let's do that again. There we go. All right, so we've done that. So I want a little bit redder. Now we're going to come along here on the Priority red, which is this really bright orange, right? And we're going to come up a little bit darker on the sides. It's very nice and bright on the sides, okay? Now,
here's an interesting question from Donna. Ginger, do you like the Holbein titanium white as well as the golden?
Do I like the what?
The Holbein.
I have liked I like the Holbein white, but a couple of times, what's happened to me a couple of times, maybe because it comes across the sea, and the time it gets me, I've had it where it's separated, where the oils, the pigment, the oil, the polymer separated from the white, and it was kind of running out like an oil, but it wasn't. And then you have to put it in a jar, and then you have to stir it, and it was annoying. And I've had that happen a few times with some other brands that are not made in the States, but the time they get here, I don't know, maybe something happens. So I've been leaning toward both whites when they're perfect are lovely. But I've had that happen a couple of times to me with the Holbein white and their zinc white too, where they're both really good whites. When they're not doing that, both are fine. You know, nothing is ever 100% perfect, and I guess we get a little spoiled here. We're not sitting out there with, grinding up gemstones to make paint.
Well, we should be.
Let's see. Let's take a little bit of this primary yellow now. In this,
I see some of you have noticed that we have
vermilion.
EB behind Ginger there. That's EB, the Energizer Bunny.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to make this a little darker here. Yeah, okay, like that. Now that has to, that needs to kind of just do its thing here. So let's take a little bit of this, just do a little line like that. Okay. Now, rinsing the brush. Okay, so far so good. Now, let's come down here, the same colors, And let's go this way in our water. Gonna come like that. Now there's some tricky things we're going to talk about here today. This is the Naples yellow deep. I like that. That's lighter yellow right here. See how it goes over the, there we go, the Naples yellow deep. That's nice, right? A little bit of this right here, keeping the brush on an angle like this. See how it's very thin here, so if I'm holding it like this, straight up and down at an angle, you can see that, right? Okay.
Somebody, you're asking about the little trays that we've got there. We have them listed in our Amazon affiliate store at gingercooklive.gallery/Amazon.
I'll tell you what I liked about these really well. So what I liked about them was that I was having stuff roll off the desk, and these don't. And so I've got some, I can put some stuff up here on the top. I can put a few things that I need, you know, so it's handy, and they can pick up and move, and they're fairly heavy. They're for cooking, I guess. People use them in the kitchen for different things. And
Yeah, that's what they're originally designed for. When they come, I thought I was getting them for the kitchen, but ooh, these look good.
But
Gone.
I'm thinking these could be handy, because that's one of the things that's been a little annoying for me is the
brush is rolling all over the place.
brush is rolling all over the place. All right, so
Yeah.
let's take some white paint now.
Hey, remember, we're also giving away another canvas pad and brush set.
Oh, that's right. I forgot that. Do you have those somewhere we can show those? Do we know where those are? I bet we
Of
don't.
course we do, my queen.
I bet we don't. So
Oh, the challenge has been laid.
couldn't find the other thing.
Well, that's your term. I don't care about that. I know where everything else is, though.
It's good to know things, John.
I know everything.
So you say. It's good.
I do. I'm the man behind the curtain now.
Okay, all right. So you see how I've got the. So this is what you call kind of a rough underpainting here, and I'm gonna lighten this up as long as I've got this white here. I'm gonna kind of lighten this up a little bit like this, and then come back to this color. I like that Naples yellow red. Okay, here, just hand it to me. Okay.
Don't use that brush.
No, we'll talk about it. Here we go. So this is exciting. One of our viewers very kindly out of their own pocket, they bought a bunch of these little canvas pads. These are the quality linen ones that you normally could get from Jerry's, but they're always sold out. This is like what I'm using, only better, because they're smoother. You know, and one of our brushes, one of our favorite brushes, the Ruby Satin Silver Short Angle Brush, the 3/8 inch. This will also be given away to someone who enters our drawing tonight. Okay, and we want to thank the mysterious donor who did that. Who just
If they're watching,
in case you're watching, we want to thank you for that, because you know these are hard to get, and it was just a kind thing to do. You know, we've had a lot this week. We had 2 people donate to us. You know, not only because of appreciation for the show, but appreciation for our Academy of Fine Art and Acrylic Painting. And 2 new members have been added to our Academy. When you donate either through our website or through the stuff, we do matching funds for someone has a chance to maybe get a personal art coaching, or maybe be part of the you know, one of our academies. Because of you, which is very nice. And again, the stimulus checks haven't come in yet, so a lot of people are
I've been unemployed way too long.
have been unemployed way too long. They want to keep painting and learning, but it's been hard. So thank everybody in advance for that. All right, so this is the yellow and background. Now I've started with the white, but I want. I'm going to take a little purple now. That's that violet color. And I'll take a little bit of white with it, right?
The question came up, do you have to sand the linen ones? I just give them a quick, just knocking off the high points.
No, mostly
Because they're
not,
really
though.
smooth. You don't have to scrub them down.
Let's take a little bit of this Naples yellow, deep. Little tiny bit of that in there, like that. Just mix it into the purple. A little bit like that. There we go. Kind of gray that purple off a little bit more. Guess I'm going to grab all of it. There you go. So I've got some purple, but I put that Naples yellow deep in it. And now I'm going to come up here like this And you see that's almost a mauve now. Do you see that? It's like a mauve color. We're going to come along here like this. Let's put a little bit of white with that. Naples yellow deep. And this is working pretty well because our yellow, the underpainting is dry. Okay, so we're going to come along here like this and say, here's our edge or our little shadow bank on our sand dunes, and we're going to say that this is pretty much in shadow here. There we go, back here like that. So far that's what we've got, and you're going, huh, really? That's what you've done? I know, and you're going, how could that be anything? I know, when I was doing it on the computer, too, when I was designing this, I had a lot of those, Okay, next, nope, zip, undo, redo, delete layer. There's a lot of that. But I think you're going to be surprised, pleasantly, I hope, with what we do here. Here's a little bit of burnt sienna. That's a pretty common color. I'm going to just come up here and
I know a couple have been asking about the program Ginger's using on her designing of paintings. We're evaluating one right now, and when we're ready to, if it's something we want to recommend, we will definitely probably do a show and everything on it, because it's looking quite favorable.
Yeah, it
But
is.
we want to get a little bit more familiar with it and make sure it can do, the big thing it can do is a dirty brush. And we all know who loves a dirty brush.
Yeah, it's an interesting painting program that we're really lucky if it's an actual, rather than a lot of the digital painting programs are designed for, it's a different kind of art, and this one this one was designed for the artist, in mind, and
for a traditional artist instead of a digital artist.
Yeah, so that
they're different.
Traditional artists as opposed to airbrush or digital art, which is going to be gorgeous. Nothing wrong with digital art, but I'm saying it's like you actually painted it too. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of this color in here. So you made something a little darker right in here. We're going to suggest
see the link is now working. Sorry for the delay on that.
Did we get our thumbs up?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, you guys. That's great. So, how are you guys liking the setup? Are you liking the cameras?
Well, it's nothing different so far. It's been good.
Oh.
I think it's
well.
been good.
They got to see the thing rove around.
They did enjoy the view of a nice clean area.
Yeah, really. Well, what happens is you get stuff, and then you try it, and then you try it, and you try something else, and it all just piles up on the desk and never gets put back, and then you're surrounded by a bunch of stuff that you really didn't need here. So, all right, now we want to do. I want to just take the one. Remember, so someone's going to win tonight. Will win the brush and the Centurion. There's 10 sheets in a tablet, and you're going to love these. Absolutely love these. They're really nice. Who's going to win that? And I'm going to get my paint out again. I want to make a.
Hey, we'd like to thank the moderators tonight. We have Judy and Steffi, Lou Ann, and we have Lynn, who I think is having internet problems, so she's moderating on her big TV instead, so she can't yell at you. And we have Miss Mona in the house.
Oh, hey, Mona. Hi, Mona lives in Sweden.
Treat.
So it's such a screwy time for her. All right, I'm going to take
It's
a little.
my perfect time. This is the best time to be working.
Here's a little green and brilliant blue.
So thank you, moderators.
Okay, now let me just say that again because John was talking. I mean, there is a point where people won't know the color I'm using, John, here. So
that's true.
So it's all right. So that's green and brilliant blue.
Which green was it?
Oh, that was the I don't know, one of them, light green.
Okay.
Let's try a little bit of the primary cyan with that, a little more white. Okay, you with me on that? A little bit more white, a little more cyan. Coming up here, a little more white. All right, so there we go. I want this sort of turquoise blue color. So if I were to show you what that was, I could show you on the back of that. You see how I made this turquoise blue? And I used the primary cyan. It was this lighter green. That was this that was the green light, the permanent deep green light. Use that, and the blue, and you get this beautiful turquoise color. Isn't that gorgeous? And that's a color that's not any of these. You see that? So, and white. So now what we're going to do is, because this is dry. Now, if this were not dry, you couldn't do it, all right, with me? So we're going to come up here like this, and we're going to, using our brush like that, we're going to leave a little of this yellow showing here. And we're going to do that, okay, like that. And now up on the top, what I want to do is come down at an angle, at a diagonal. This is the important part. Come down at a diagonal like so over the dry orange. If that orange were not dry, you would have mud. And you can get away with a lot as long as your colors are dried in between. And remember, it's already going over yellow, so it's going to change it slightly anyway. Now, put a little bit more white with that, change the tones. Okay. I don't want the sky all the same color. Okay, so that's my first layer on my sky, like so. Okay. Yes and yes. Okay. First layer on the sky. All right, now taking these colors, these deeper colors, I want to come in here like this into my lagoon. That's what it is. It's a lagoon, John.
Oh, look, yeah, there you go.
Sand.
Oh, Antonia's in the house. She doesn't talk enough. I scrolled up trying to see everybody. You gotta talk more, girl.
Yeah, if you don't say anything, we don't know you're here. I don't know anybody that's here, and why is that? Because I don't have any way to see. You're just seeing me, and I'm seeing my paints, and this is all we're all seeing together, right?
Now, as far as reading the paint names, I blew it up bigger at one time so you guys could see the names. Let me.
Well, what we're doing is we got Azul Lemon Yellow, Primary Yellow, Naples Yellow Deep, Naples Yellow Red, Azul Yellow Medium, Primary Cyan we never used, so don't even ignore that. We got Vermilion,
I thought
Pyroly
you
Red.
said you just had primary cyan out there on the last blue you used.
Oh yeah, I just put it in the wrong place. It's over here. Okay, that's what happened to me. Okay. Carmine, Permanent Violet, Primary Cyan, Brilliant Blue, Turquoise Blue, Burnt Sand and Burnt Umber, and then of course your white. Okay? So you see how we just... Now, this is where you're talking about brush direction. Brush direction makes a big difference because it says, there's a certain amount of energy. Remember when the little cartoon and the Roadrunner's taking off and goes zip, and they have the little lines, dashing lines going behind them to indicate speed, right? And we respond to, psychologically, we absolutely respond to these lines on our in paint and the way the brush direction. So if brush direction says so much about what things are, and just keeping that in mind. So there we go. So we've got to start on this. Now we're starting to play with the warm and cool colors, yes and yes. And again, like I say, you can get away with this about anything as long as it's as long as you're drawing in between. So here's a little bit of the side. This is just the primary cyan color, and I have a little bit of that in here too. So this is all layers. Nothing is ever just one color. And here's a little bit of this one, Brilliant Blue. It's a little bit different. We're just going to start layering up stuff. Okay? Yes and yes. And now if you've been playing with a brush and you've got blue on it and you want to come back into the orange and yellow colors, I would caution you to be careful, because if you don't clean the brush well enough, what will happen is that some of that paint will still be in there, and you'll mix with this, and you won't like it. You won't like it. You'll get some sort of weird color, and you won't know what to happen. Have a couple of clean brushes, around so that you can change. Okay? So you see I'm doing a little bit of rinse, wipe, swipe. See, I wanted to open that yellow up a little bit right there. So I was able to erase a little bit of that. All right, so let's take a little bit of the blue here. And I'm going to come along like this. Okay, so then just starting to pull some, I think I want a little bit of yellow in this blue. Let's see about that. Let's make a deeper blue-green back in here.
Sandy Perez has a question. I didn't hear back from Ginger about my cellist painting corrections. Was it okay?
I don't know if I didn't see the, I answer all emails. So,
Okay,
and all
in a
tickets.
pack.
So if I didn't, maybe.
If you send it back and you closed it, she won't know that it's new. So we'll have to go look for it, see how you did it. You gotta make sure you leave them open.
Yep.
Ginger closes.
I close, you leave them open.
Otherwise, we look for open ones.
If it's closed, I have no way to even see it.
No.
So if you've closed it, you send it back and,
So we'll take a peek for it.
we'll look for it. You can always write.
It was a little busy. Mondays are really hectic for us, so.
Yeah, and you've got to give me, I'll tell you what, you've got to give me 4 or 5 days to do a pack. Sometimes you guys are lucky, you'll get it the same day. But I've told everybody from the start that I want 4 or 5 days to do a pack, and everybody sends in, if I get 50 or 100 packs on a weekend, we're not going to get those all done, okay? So just keep that in mind.
And we appreciate your patience.
Yeah, but
The store to our Amazon store is gingercooklive.gallery/Amazon.
yes. Now go a little brown here on this corner. Let's bring this out a little bit further. Now, all right, so now we're down to the next layer of white on our sand dunes. See, this is the first layer didn't quite do it yet, but we got the second layer. We're going to go ahead and add that. So see how it's starting to show up a little bit better. And let's see, is this dry yet? Yeah, maybe. So I'm going to just, there's a little bit of blue on this, so I'm going to do a little bit of this right now. Just a tiny bit of the blue. Bring that down here like this. This is dry enough where I can add another layer of color up here. Maybe want a little darker sky up in this part. There we go. Now you have to build up your colors, particularly when you're going over yellow. This is another thing you may not realize. When you're painting over yellow, it's going to look different than if you were painting over green. Because the color underneath affects what you're painting, okay? So that's something that,
Which I really thought was surprising.
Yeah, it really does.
Because even when they say the paint's opaque, it's not 100% opaque.
It really does affect it.
Yeah.
So
you can even tell in our sand dunes there, or the.
Well, you saw where I had to kind of go over them a little bit. You saw that, right?
You got. If you want to really take it over, you have to have lots of color. Well, speaking of color, we had somebody ask a question in regards. They were studying their colors and their, what are the p-values? Whatever. There's codings for them, and all the browns are falling under another code. I want to work up what that means because besides they have a lot of chemical or components or compounds that are the same, but then they add something. Like one of them has magnesium added to it, which totally shifts it from what it was. So we'll have a little discussion on that at a later date.
Yeah, and a little bit of orange on this again because I'm
really loving the colors in this.
Yeah, it's sort of fun, isn't it? And I still need this darker here. So again, acrylics dried normally darker, but they weren't quite dark enough here. So pulling in some of this. And a little bit of dark on here too. Let's take a little bit of this orange color. There we go.
Hey, we'd like to thank Andrew for the donation that came in through PayPal. A little something just because I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you
All
very
better
much,
and feeling
Andrew.
good.
We appreciate
Good.
you too.
You're
And
feeling better.
glad
You're
you're
a
feeling
little under
better.
the weather, as it were.
Yeah, and I'm telling you what, we're all hiding out like crazy.
Vampires.
It's vampires. Yeah. All right. I'm making a little pink here to see that with just some white and carmine. Carmine, just so you know, carmine makes a very nice pink. That's a beautiful pink, isn't it? I mean, we talk a lot about pinks, but that's one of the nicest pinks. You know, that's a gorgeous pink. That carmine and the white, that's really pretty.
Yeah.
And we're going to pull a little of that up in here too. Just I'm going to dry brush over that red. See, just kind of put a little of that pink up in there. See, just sometimes you can just do the slightest little bit of something, and just sort of dragging this over.
And what are the name of the brushes you use, my lady?
I tell you what, the Silver Brush Company makes really good quality products. They're the ones that you were supposed to get rid of that, John, that one can. But for instance, they make all the Art Sherpa brushes, right? The silver brushes. Cinnamon had them made, and for years I've been using these ruby satin silver short-handled brushes, and I love them. Their angle. I really like these a lot. They have just the right give. Acrylics, particularly when you're using the really thick, heavy body ones, you really want something with a little bit of with a little more give to it than you'd think. So I really like these, and I have recommended the brush guys. You can buy them on Jerry's or other places. You know, they sell them around the world. But I've recommended the brush guys for this reason. I'm going to try this yellow, Azo yellow medium, because that was pretty. Ooh, isn't that pretty? Look at that. I just wanted to brighten up the sky, you guys. Look at that. I did too, huh? Wow, I did. Let's get some of this vermilion here. I want to use all my toys. Okay, that's just kind of pulling up something. Yeah, they're nice brushes, and notice I'm rinsing all that out of my brush now before I go to the next color. And then here you go. This is a medium. Let's try the primary yellow on top of that. You can just have so much fun with
the mixing program, color mixing program, is still available.
It's still available. It's on the
gingercookstore.com currently.
And the thing is, the reason why you just can't buy a book on color, and then because when the printers print the color, it's not the same as when you mix it yourself. You have there's 13 hours in our journal of just how to mix the colors, but you still have to do it yourself, and it's going to vary depending on brands you buy and the type of paint you're using. That's going to change tremendously too. But if you buy the 12 basic core, or what we call our core colors, right? Our core colors. If you get those,
you're pretty much set.
You're set, because you can mix anything. But we also, but sometimes, it's just nice to be able to grab a color and just out of the tube and get it. Now, one of the things, I'll tell you a little secret too. I'll tell you what, yellow in you pay for your paints if you're buying professional paints. I know sometimes stores like Michael's, they don't really separate it. They just do an average and charge more. But generally, white paint's less money than yellow. Reds and yellows are generally your most expensive, because the pigments that are used to make them are so expensive. Okay, so we recommend that if you're going to do a very large painting, suppose you were going to do this painting really big. You know, I'm doing it little, but you like this so much, you want this in your beach house. And see, there's a little yellow here. See how I'm layering this in? Nothing is ever quite the same. Yeah. See? Suppose you want this in your beach house and you want it really big. Maybe Andrew's going to make it for his beach house. He'll make it really big. Well, you don't want to pay you don't want to use your professional acrylics for your underpainting, because that's a lot of money if you can avoid it. You want to look for a underpainting gesso, a yellow gesso. And I tell you, the best one is the Matisse out there, have all the colors. But I would have a big jar of or even the gold or something like that. You know, if you got to do a totally red underpainting or totally yellow underpainting, take advantage of your colored gessos. There's one here from Liquitex and it's black. Now, why else might you want a colored gesso? Well, they go on a little smoother than your heavy body paints. They're smoother. You can use like a giant big brush. I'm so organized, aren't you impressed? Look at that, yes. To put them on a large canvas, you know, and you'll get a very nice smooth surface. So that's just something that it's not important. You know, if you're just staying around 9 by 12, 8 by 10, even 16 by 20, I'd almost be tempted to. If you're going up to 16 by 20, and doing a lot of underpaintings with these bright colors, I'd be tempted to try to find them in the gesso first. Look for those, you know. Did anybody ask that question? They probably didn't, but I answered it anyway, huh?
Just foresight.
Just foresight, okay?
Yep.
I did.
Have you ever used a Stay Wet palette?
The Stay Wet palette question, in the past I've used them, had students use them, and I never liked how flat they left the paint. And then my daughter, for my birthday, sent me an early birthday present of some, what she considers the quintessential Stay Wet palette. Apparently used boiling water with them. She says, you always were doing them wrong, Mother. You never read the directions to anything. I'm sure that they, you know, I'm not, I don't know. We'll let you know. The jury's out. Cinnamon loves them. And if you're living in Colorado and you don't have any, it's very dry and there's, you know, and the humidity's low, or it's in the wintertime and all the humidity's been sucked out by the heater, you might very well want a Stay Wet palette, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it at all.
Do I have the roll of paper towels somewhere?
Oh, those did not reappear.
We never found the paper towels?
Nope. Sorry.
Well.
That I couldn't even, I didn't have a clue on those.
Okay.
I mean, I can't even come up with that one.
Not even in the sink over there?
Nope. Not even gonna fake that
Wow,
one.
he doesn't even know, you guys, and that's saying something, because John just told us earlier, you heard us, right? He knows all.
I do know all. I don't know where they are. So
Are
I know all.
you guys liking the cameras and how we're doing stuff? Are you zooming in and doing clever things now?
I'm not doing clever things. You're just doing a gorgeous painting. I don't have to do anything.
Yeah, just coming along here.
I'm kind of liking it.
Kind of darkening
Hey,
the
we'd like to
sky a
thank
little
Barbara
bit.
for the donation that came in through PayPal. Thank you very much, my
Oh,
dear.
Barbara, thank you very much for that. Thank you.
Patricia would like to know, did I read about an auction marathon in February?
Yeah, yes. We're going to do another one of those crazy.
I roped her into it on her birthday week.
We're going to do that in February.
February 5th.
February
That's the start.
5th, which is a Friday.
Yep.
We're going to go ahead and do one of these fabulous auctions that we
Usually
do.
get 10 to 12 paintings done.
And we'll auction them off. And so, if you haven't been to gingercookauction.com and at least, it doesn't cost you any money to sign up for the auction, so that if you could participate if you wanted to, we recommend you do that, to do a quick pre-sign up here.
Yeah, the sign-ups have to be approved. You go in a holding pattern. I have to approve them. When you put the word auction into a website, you get all kinds of strangeness. So we just circumvent the whole thing. If you think you want to participate, just create your account early.
If they already have, it's still good, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
If you've done it before, then you're still good.
Go ahead. If you think you have it, try signing it in. Making sure you can access it. And so,
See?
yep, that's
Don't
kind
you
of
love
sprung
this?
that on her.
Don't
Sprung
you
that
love
on
this?
the queen. That's
There
my
you go.
birthday present to her. You get to work 12 hours.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the kind of guy I am.
It's the kind of thing. It's funny with that. It's all right. We're going up here with some lighter. See how we're using the same colors? We're just kind of adding more white, and just starting to keep lightening up now. You see all the layers we got in the sky? We really didn't have that before, But
I know that you really wanted your paper towel, so.
oh, he found them. Look at that.
I knew where they were.
All right, he knew where they were. Just liar, pants on fire. All right.
Just trying to make my worth.
Well, these are some real crummy ones. Okay.
They're not crummy.
Sorry.
Oh, my.
All right.
My.
Now, I'm not done with this, but it's looking good, right? We're liking it so far?
You are liking it. You're not going to ruin it, are you?
Now, I want to show you something.
Uh-oh.
I'm giving you the
you're
paper
gonna be the poor man's.
This is, if you don't have a stay wet palette, you can take some paper towels and do what we used to do, and this is kids. Remember when you were a kid and you made a fan called
Yep.
accordion folds?
Yep.
Like that. Remember your little fan? Yes?
Yeah.
You'll remember that. Now what you do is you
Oh, she is
dip it in
making
water,
this.
and then you wring it out.
What is it called, wringing it out? There's no ring in there. Do you see a ring?
No, I don't.
No,
That's
see?
But I found that, I meant to tell you something. I found something, now I've forgotten what it was, but it was really neat. I was going to share it with everybody, but it's gone now. All right, so you got this, right? So can you still see my palette?
Wait, let me do a zoomy over on that side.
Okay, can you see
One moment, please.
Okay.
There. Okay, go.
So you would put this on your palette, you maybe here and then down the sides, right?
Okay.
And this is damp, and you would put your paint on here, and that will keep your paint wet for a good
Hours.
couple hours. It's really amazing with
But now
that.
the problem with that is that's so much water, it really thins out your paint.
No, this doesn't here.
You don't think so?
No, it doesn't, because when you don't mix on this, that was the
No,
problem.
I understand that.
You don't mix on it. You just have, you wring
Oh,
it out.
okay.
It's damp. This is just damp. And it doesn't. It actually, the Liquitex representative told me this trick. And it does work. So there, I mean, I'm just saying, it works. Yeah. So, that being said, which we just said it, right? Now,
Well, yeah, because you said it.
now again, we talk about yellows. And, let's see.
yellow.
Where did I just grab? I just grabbed that tube of yellow, didn't I?
Yep.
Where did I put that?
Had it a minute ago.
I had it a minute ago, and I'm so organized.
To see, we'd like to know what's the difference between GAC 100 and GAC 800.
Go on
to
the Golden website.
goldenpaints.com. They have a whole section. I don't remember it offhand.
Yeah, you guys, you know, we're not,
800. I know we don't use 800.
you know, come on,
we
there's
use
all kinds
100.
of stuff. They've even got, have you ever seen those, you'll see a gift basket, and it's got a beautiful bow, and it's all almost like concrete, but it was made out of real ribbon, and you ever wondered how they
It's
did
one
that?
of the GACs does that
It's
too.
one of the GACs will do that. They bend that ribbon over like chicken wire, and
You shellac it on
and then
there.
they dip it in that GAC stuff, and when it dries, take the wire out, and it hardens into this
Yeah.
this fancy bow. I mean, those are Golden has got probably the best example of stuff. Now I know I had that yellow out.
Which yellow were you using?
The cat, because I was showing everybody. You wouldn't want to do that with the yellow. Remember, I was just showing everybody. Well, who?
Well, whose yellow was it?
It was the golden. It was the golden yellow. All right, I'm going to take some yellow in here, just like this. This is their primary yellow, and I'm going to just brighten this up a little bit here, and just a little bit of this back up here in my sky. And this a little brush, or just kind of brightening this up, just in a couple places, right, like that. There. Okay, so I wanted a little bit touch of yellow in here, right? And
Don't have a clue on that one at all.
I don't know. It's interesting. It went somewhere, and then I want a little bit of this this Naples yellow red color, and a little bit of white, and maybe some Azel lemon yellow, more white than if we're doing that. Okay, a little bit of the Azel lemon. There we go. That color. Now, what I want to do here is just on the top of the, perhaps more white with that. Just on the top of the sand dune here, I'm going to have it, it's going to be just slightly yellow. And the same thing here, right where the sun might be coming. Okay? And let's do this with the Azo yellow medium, which is kind of an orange, kind of a light orange, and we'll do some white with that. This is a little tiny brush. Anyway, I started to tell you the brush guys, www.thebrushguys.com. If you use my full name, Ginger Cook, all one word, and they have they'll give you 5% discount off the brushes, and they ship all over the world, and they're very reasonable. And so anyhow, we're doing a little bit of this. So in here now, not done yet. So let's take a little bit of the burnt umber. And I want to do some tiny little wiggly little bushes. We're coming this way. Now, you can do that with a little brush like this. You can do it with, there's a lot of different ways you can do tiny brushes. This is called a liner brush. And that will make a very, very tiny twiggy type brush like that. See, like you can do this with it. And those are best done when you're using a brush like this. This is why it's kind of important and to have a few materials on hand. Yes and yes? Because these work best with a fluid paint. Like for instance, this is raw umber and it's a fluid paint, so it's got the same pigment, but it's
fluid.
But it's fluid. So if you need a fluid line, okay, so you can then, you know, hold it straight up like this if you want some tiny little branches. And then you kind of take it and then lift the brush off. Flick with your wrist, see? You can get, so then, see, the other color you would use would be, I don't know why that's over there, but I'm going to spin this around. Look at that. Here's the fluid white. You can buy little tiny bottles of this. Honestly, I don't know why anybody would need a giant bottle like this because we've been using this forever, right? But let's put a little of this white there. Your fluid white. Now I'm going to roll the brush, just the tip in it. Now, with me? Now, just to give it, wherever there's a light, there's a dark. So you've got to if you're going to put white over something, it obviously has to be over something darker than it, right? So I've got that little bit of and I've got a little bit of this burnt umber, and I've got some twigs that are all growing over here. Now, besides the raw umber, I had several colors of this. Let's see, what else do I have? This is the Payne's Gray, which is good. Carbon Black, which is not what you'd want for this. You wouldn't want to use black at all. You want to keep it in the browns. You might want to use, what did we just drop here? This is primary, well, it's black. So you certainly don't want black. So then, so your next option is like a brown. Here's burnt umber. And this is, again, you hear the little bottle, there's a little ball bearing in there that you, when you do shake it up, because you want to mix all the pigment, okay? This is really important. Want to mix all the pigment. So
we'd like to thank Jackie for the donation that came in through Super Chat. Thank you so much for all the good stuff you all continue to teach me. Really, really appreciate everything you do.
Thank you, Jackie. We appreciate you too. Thank you very much. All right, you see how when you have, if you're having trouble getting tiny lines, and I'll tell you where you really notice it is on trees, because if there's when the tree branch gets into these tiny branches and stuff, it's hard for people to get a thin line. Now these fluid acrylics and inks, this is acrylic ink, they work, and they work just as good. They're still acrylics and all. They're all happy. That still works. Now this was sort of cool because there was some kind of little grasses growing in here like this too. This was sort of this little inlet always didn't have water. You know, and it comes, you know, you can get a lot of colors. For instance, here's a gold one. This is a nickel azo yellow, and I'll just show you how that works. You can get, you know, but honestly, I want to thank Judy who gave me a whole set of these colors. But to be honest with you, the ones I use the most are Van Dyke Brown, Burnt Umber, White, maybe Black. So if you're just, you know, just wanted to treat yourself to a couple, let's see, let's put a little white with that gold. Let's see how we do with that. See what that did? A little bit of white, add it to that gold, kind of twist the brush, holding it straight up. The harder you push, the
bigger the branch.
The fatter the branch, absolutely, fatter the branch. It's starting to feel a little better there, right?
Cheryl would like to know, those liquid paints you're showing, what does it look like when it gets old?
Oh, these are old.
Yeah, those are,
These are like 4 or 5 years old. I think I haven't bought any new ones in forever.
yeah.
They're fine. You got to keep the lids on stuff, just,
Other than
keep
that, they hold up very well.
They really do. I mean, I think so. They really do.
Is acrylic ink the same thing as the fluid? I think the
No,
ink is
it
thinner.
isn't. It's even thinner, and they've got, believe it or not, if you want to get into all that, they've got acrylic ink pens, like the old kind of fountain pens, and you can fill them up with different stuff, and that's what the inks. You can use the ink for that. The fluids are not quite, the flows and stuff are not quite as thin, I believe. But again, Golden sells those. You could look it up and see what they think the difference is. I don't have a lot of experience with that, but I brought some. All right, I want to take this. I like this little brush here, right? And I might just take some of this green paint
You seem to
and
be
go
having a
into
lot
the
of fun
white,
with
because
it.
you can tint this, right, with your other colors. Like, this is why I've been a little reluctant to buy a lot of different colors, because again, you can mix it, but the more you mix it, of course, the thicker it gets. All right, so let's do. All right, so that's one way to do it. Your other option, see how you've got these beautiful, nice, long stuff here. Your other option, whoops. Yeah, see, you got to go back in there now because you got damaged. All right, so I don't want that big brush, but I might want a smaller one. This is the little brush that comes with your the Salvador paint kit also has a brush that's I call liner brush, and it comes with the set. And I'll show you what one of these looks like too, so you can see it. Again, you want to roll the extra paint off, and the harder you push, see, the fatter the line. But you see, this one works pretty well too, does it not? So then that comes in your paint set right there, and they work really well with with a fluid thing like that. Now I want to put some little leaves on. I'm going to take some little orange here, and I'm going to dap on a few little leaves on these things. I'm going to just put a few little dots of leaves on here, maybe some gold, some different colors. Let's see, what do we got here?
Do you have your inspirational photo handy there?
Yeah, I do. Somebody said, where did you start with?
Started with that. And being an artist, this is what she sees. Take it away. That's what she saw. It's all in perspective.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm just saying, it's all, what I mean, what do you see? I mean, how do you see the world? How do I see the world, right? Yeah, let's do a little of the lighter colors. I just wanted some little pod things. The pod plants, like the pod people, ooh, right? Coming along here like that. Little pod people. And I want to take some of my... Now, the thing about using a brush like this is, because it's very soft, it doesn't want to go into these paints as easily as your brush, but I want to go ahead and still break some of this up. I need some thin lines. This is dry now, so I can put some thin lines in here, and this is an ideal brush to do that with. See that? Can cross over there and put some thin lines in. Got to break that up a bit.
Cheryl would like to know. Wait, I just got scrolled off. Ginger, I love these plates that you painted. Do you have any plans to do any more of them? What plates did you paint?
There were some plates that that were a company licensed. I didn't paint those. They were licensed and printed on the plates. I never painted those.
But you painted the original.
I painted the originals.
Okay.
The originals. I painted the originals, which was part of, kind of a village collection. I want to come up here with the sand dune, come up a little higher here now. Just break this up. There we go. Again, just give that a little more beach. And let's do a little bit more on our, just make a few little more, there's just a little bit of beach on our sand dunes here. And then I want a little bit lighter down here across the horizon. I think that would be nice. So I take some white and want this lighter here. So again, I'm going to go up with my brush. Just want it lighter here. Like that, just on the horizon. This is a pretty brilliantly bright sand reflections and everything, huh?
Ginger, what could we use instead of the carmine?
That's your color mixing journal for you. We tell you in that. If I had it, I would look it up and tell you.
It's somewhere in this room, I
But
think.
maybe somebody else has got it. Does anybody else have their color mixing journal far enough along to tell us that? Because it's in the journal.
'Cause
The
I did
recipe
it.
for that is in the
I
journal.
attempted it. I don't know if I was successful on that one.
Yeah, but I do have the we do have the recipe
cannot even think where that
in
journal
the
went
video. Okay. All right, so I think that's I think we want to take just
And
a
we
little
talked
bit of
about
the
the journal
blue.
before the show.
Yeah, we tried to find it before the show. We really did. Honestly, we're so. But honestly, to get this much up, let's see. I want this a little darker here on top. I always like it a little darker on top. Brings your eye down, right? There you go. See the energy in this painting? Just the energy. Everybody thinks you have to paint a sky just back and forth, and you certainly don't. And of course, then it comes along to what could we paint next?
Going back to the plate idea, would you ever consider doing an original on a plate to sell it? I would say
I did. I'll tell you what. You know what we did when we taught painting parties, which was really fun?
painting on
Have you
plates.
ever gone to like a Hobby Lobby or someplace and got those charger plates?
Yeah. Yeah, I've
And
seen
then
those.
you cover those with like a GAC 100, something like
One
that.
of the GACs.
One of the GACs. You cover it with one of the GACs, and you can paint. I did a bunch for these painting parties, little woodland scenes and stuff, and snow scenes on those, and then you go ahead and varnish the heck out of those, and you can either hang them on the wall as a picture, or as a table decoration. Of course, you know what we're missing here, right?
Birds or a flying tractor. I bet it's not going to be a flying tractor.
Now, here's something you can take to the bank about birds. The tinier they are, the farther away they are. So let me get a little bit more of that paint out, and
That
I'll
makes
shake it
sense.
up well. And
Karen GP, I still haven't gotten my journal or heard from you.
Karen,
If you're one that's been waiting for something physical from us, we are not selling anything physical. And I have written to several people that have thought that. Please check your junk mail for any emails from gingercooklive.com.
what you're buying, Karen, is 13 hours of videos on all the color recipes and how to make the book. We can't sell you a book. You have to buy the journal and make it. That's what we're very clear about that. But if you felt it wasn't clear, we're happy to give you a refund, because the people that have done it now know how to mix colors.
Well, right here from PJ, I don't know if I should call her that, Pamela. Hey John, can you let Ginger know we appreciate seeing her mix the paints, please? What about me mixing mine? Hey, I attempted it.
Yeah. You see it. You see us mix the colors. You see how you can take those secret ones, those few colors, and make anything. Now, does that mean that you should never buy more other colors of paint? No. Because, we're all like consumer fools, right? We all like to buy more paint. And of course, there's certain colors you can't mix. There's certain colors you have to buy. Like, for instance, the Holbein, that bright pink, that is almost their Pepto-Bismol pink that they've got.
That's a great pink.
See, they've got some birds in here. Little tiny ones, they're further away, right? Now, for those of you who are having trouble doing something that small, you can take a Posca pen and you want to pump it out here. Here you go, like that. So if you needed a really, remember, white is only going to go show up over. See, this is a flock of birds. The farther they get, the farther away they are, they're smaller. And for instance, and then when
How do you know they're not just baby birds?
Well, John, I can't explain. You know, they might be, but no.
I think it's baby birds.
It's good to think, but maybe not all the time for you. Just thinning. I'll do the thinning around here, Babaloo, and don't you forget it, right?
I try not to forget it. Somehow I can't help myself.
I know. You just have such a good time with this, all of this, right?
I do.
All right, so I'm telling you what, I think I've got my flock of birds in here now, which I'm pretty happy with.
Which is different than a flock of crows. So I've been taught.
That was a murder of crows, flock of birds. We had that discussion already.
We did. Which I still don't get that. But
well,
probably have to go back to Alfred
I like this. Let's go put,
Hitchcock's birds.
there you go. So we got some birds like that.
How many birds do you got?
I don't know, I've got a bunch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I got it's a flock of birds. It needed the energy. Don't you think it needed the birds from
It
the
did
sky?
need the birds.
It needed the birds for
I think the birds pulled it
energy of the
together.
sky, right?
I love the birds. I love
Could
the
you grab
birds.
me that gold frame that's over there on the wall where the frog is?
Ooh, she knows where something is. Somebody, wait, before let me ask. Somebody says they can't find where they put the color mixing journal. Currently it's at gingercookstore.com. If you don't see it right away, do a refresh a couple of times. We're trying some things as we're getting ready to move to a new site. So refresh and continue having problems, use the contact us. Thank you for these important messages. Are you done now?
I think so. I think that's I think we got it here. I think that so if you look at this was my inspiration, which was the sand, the sand, and then I thought white sand would be good, and here I'll just just show you how it would look like in a frame. This is probably
Okay, you're gonna have to back out. That's huge.
yeah, this is probably too big a frame. We have one of the black ones or brown ones. That's just yeah. I probably wouldn't use this gold frame on it. There's too much yellow in this picture.
I don't think I would use that gold one.
I wouldn't use this gold one. We have others. We have other, there's other frames you can do, and we also have something on how to mount them. John knows where those are, apparently. He's, isn't that good? He knows where some of that stuff is. Yeah. So he's gone to find that. But there is a video on how to mount these, and how to frame and everything. In fact, I framed this frog. See, this is one of the Academy lessons, the frog. Frog hasn't been varnished yet. If the frog were varnished, he would be so much brighter. It hasn't been varnished yet, but that's my little frog. I don't know if you guys can see that because I don't know if he scrolled out far enough with the camera. So I'll put this one back. If he did that, I want to tell you what we're going to be doing next week too. Before I put it in the frame, we're going to be drawing for these here. Oh, I like the silver. Yeah, let's do the silver. Oh, but the silver would look awesome on this. Is that back down? Oh, yes and yes, the silver. Let me have that the back of that so I can kind of. Give me that. I'm going to do it like this. Well, here's a black one, okay? Here's a black one, yeah? Like that. See? Black, but these are cute. These are little and cute. And you can paint these yourselves, If you don't like black, you could paint them a different color. But now look at the... Let me move this out of the way. Oh, shoot. Where did it go? Where can I move this to? Up here, maybe. Okay, so look at this, you guys. Look how cool...
Now that looks good.
Look at this. Well, this was a silver frame, an antique silver frame we got from Jerry's. Isn't that pretty? That really makes it, doesn't it? And yeah, that's neat, right? That's nifty keen. Yes, you guys all see that. Okay, so we should draw, not for the frame, but just for the picture. Should draw for the painting. Should we draw for the painting first, or should we draw for the...
We always do the painting first.
All right, we're drawing for the painting first. Then I'm going to be drawing for the Salvador paint set and also for the canvas pad and the brush. Okay, so that's what we're going to be drawing for. We hope we got a bunch of thumbs up from you guys. I hope you guys liked it. Thank you everybody that took the time to contribute. We thank you very much for that. That was lovely. The other announcement I want to make while John's looking is that the art tripper, my daughter, will be live on YouTube tomorrow night. I have great news for you guys. Her soap, her brush soap, which is the very brush soap we have ever found. I've been doing acrylics for 50 years. And what she came up with was so phenomenal. And it's now back in stock. It's available again. You can go to the artchirpa.com and go to her website, and they've got the information on the brush, on the soap. They're hand making it themselves, and
Made with love.
and it's made with love. It's not the best handmade thing I ever saw advertised was some sort of face cream made by monks in the Yugoslavian Alps that lived in seclusion and apparently didn't speak to each other, and they made this face cream, and I thought, well, that's exotic. By the time they got it from them, they couldn't talk. How do they know how good it was? But I promise you, John Cooney and Cinnamon Cooney, they talk to each other, and they have got some awesome brush soap.
Excellent brush strokes.
Really, really good, and really, really nice stuff. And I watched a really good video on cleaning your brushes, and you've got to be very careful to make sure that you really clean them. You always want to lay them flat. Who's won this, John?
Winner of the painting is Beverly Kinney, and she hails from New York.
New York. All right. Congratulations, Beverly.
So this nice warm painting is going to go to the cold country.
Wow. Okay.
So hopefully it'll warm your heart.
Yeah.
And
Awesome.
Beverly, thank you for entering your address, so we are all set to go. I mail out on Wednesdays, and typically people get them by Friday or Saturday. They go first class mail.
Yeah.
And our next winner chicken dinner.
Wait, before we get too far, I want to show this.
Oh, okay.
Next-
Oh, yeah.
You know,
go ahead.
as you guys know, that this in our Academy of Fine Art and Acrylic Painting, every month we release new videos from beginner to advanced, and some of you may be familiar with this painting. This is a Renoir, and not the original Renoir. It's my version of a Renoir. And when I first went on YouTube about 5 years ago, I did a very tiny one. It's still up there. And back when we had a $350 camera and using paper plates and all that stuff, and I felt it was such a nice picture, and it needed to be redone. And so we've done it larger, 8x10, and it will be released in our Academy. It's a 2-cookie tutorial, and it'll be in our Academy later this week. So thought you guys would like to know. Everybody says what's the newest releases, and I thought this one was really nice. I liked all the lights and shadows and everything on it. Very pretty. So that's what's getting released later this week. All right. So Beverly's won that from New York, and
the
then
Salvador paint kit.
it's got this is, you're gonna love these. I mean, look at how much paint I've got left over. This is why we end up with all those things John does. I have so much paint left over. You don't need to, it goes a long ways. So yeah, that's this. And so who's won that?
This one is going to Canada, going to Donna Betts.
Oh, congratulations, Donna. I wonder what part of Canada she's from.
That would be Nova Scotia.
Oh my gosh, way up there in the cold. Well, Donna, this will be nice, something to do.
Isn't Canada always cold?
No, not always. So, I don't think so. All right, so Donna's won that. Now our next winner is someone's going to have won the really so nice. You can't ever have enough of these brushes and the linen canvas. So who's got that?
So the lucky winner on that one is, as I get my numbers. That's going to go to Arizona. Pat Austin. In
Oh,
Arizona.
congratulations, Pat. I don't think I've had anything go to Arizona for a while.
No.
That's awesome. So congratulations, Pat, on that.
Winner of
Wonderful.
Canvas.
That's
And
going
brush.
to Arizona in the brush. So you're gonna love that. And
Again, thank everybody for having your addresses ready to go. That speeds the process.
If you have not had a chance to join our free Facebook Acrylic Painting Club, Ginger Cook Acrylic Painting Club on Facebook, I would invite you to do that. This is a place where if you've enjoyed doing our tutorials, and we've got so many kind of cool ones. If YouTube's got some great, on YouTube we've done some beautiful ones. Here's another one. Don't you think this painting would go with this? Yes and
I
yes.
think so.
You could scoot back or something. You can show it. Can you show that like that?
I'm doing my best, boss.
Can they see that? You see how these two would go together? Kinda, yeah, a little bit maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
See, I mean, this is one that we have on
I
YouTube.
really like that one.
I do too. And then this is another one we did on YouTube that was very popular. If you just are tired of the snow, want to go to the beach. These are some wonderful
You
ones.
got to think warm.
Think of tropical things. And again, we want to thank everybody for hanging out. We're here with us. We hope you've subscribed to the channel. Of course, I can't imagine why you wouldn't. And hang out with us in our Facebook club. And if you want some personal art coaching, consider the Academy, because that's one-on-one teaching when you think about the videos that go back and forth between me and you. So again, have a wonderful day. And I tell you what, February's coming up. We're going to do a big birthday bash for
your birthday.
For my birthday, which is next Monday. It just happens to be February 1st, which is kind of neat. And I don't know, there'll be some giveaways for that, some surprises. So if you've got any suggestions for a painting I might want to do on my birthday, let me know. You can put it in the comments after the show's over. So thanks, you guys. Appreciate the moderators, and heart hugs to all of you.
What is the painting behind the head and that one she painted? The big wave in water you did?
What?
That one over there.
This one?
Yeah, this one is not completed yet.
Yeah, it's a work in progress.
That's for the last 10 years.
Well, it's getting there.
Now, if you're talking about what's behind her now, that's a carpet.
That's a carpet. Behind me is it's a carpet.
So.
That's a carpet. Isn't that good? We got that, and it makes a good backdrop, I think. Don't you guys think so? Makes a good backdrop.
It makes EB stand out.
All right. Say goodnight, John.
Say goodnight, John.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone. See you next Monday.
Bye.
Don't forget to catch the Art Sherpa tomorrow live. Bye, everyone.